We're paying it back. 1.5 trillion. That's the plan. Reduce the deficit. The deficit means you spend too much money, don't bring enough money in. Tory solution, make cuts. I think we just need to start making some more fucking money. All these billionaire psychos putting their taxis into the Cayman Islands. They tell you that as if the money's irretrievable. Fucking invade the Cayman Islands. Get it back. What the fuck are the Cayman Islands going to do about it? Instead of getting after disabled people and fucking single parents. That takes balls, doesn't it? That takes balls. George Osborne, Ian Duncan Smith. Going through disabled people's doors, this is your fucking fault, mate. You. We could go after tax-avoiding multinationals. We could go after Vodafone, Starbucks, Amazon, Google, Gary Barlow, but it's your fucking fault. You. You're going back to work, mate. We don't give a fuck how disabled you are. Or you're paralysed from the neck down. We don't give a fuck, mate. There'll be a farm out there looking for a scarecrow. Fucking get to it. Couple of people checking for the offside flag on that joke there. Maybe an extreme example, but that's their ideal world. Cutting benefits, and people fall for it. People believe it. I hear folk moaning. I hear them. See them on Facebook. Then you discover through Facebook you hate your own fucking aunties. Reading their shite. I have worked my whole life, and I've worked 2 jobs since I've been 12 years old, and I think it's a disgrace that these people are sitting on their fat arses. They're spending their dole checks on alcohol and cigarettes. It's a darn right disgrace. You're missing the point, man. They're spending it on alcohol and cigarettes. Highly taxable goods. The country's getting it back. These people are reinvesting. These people are the heroes in this mess. There's no poor people spending, it's fucking rich people saving. That's the problem. The money's there. Just need to get it to people that will fucking spend it. I would put the dole up. I would make the dole $1,000 a week. That's how you kickstart an economy. Every bit of it would get spent. You see it on Black Friday. That's poor people. Imagine them on £1,000 a week. The country would be fucking bouncing. Not 1 penny going offshore or into your savings account. Let's get fucking tattoos, man. People arriving at the job centre in taxis to sign on. Just keep the meter running, my man. I'll be 5 minutes. That's the dole up to $1,000 a week, Denise. You still wanting your tits done? I will get the hot tub. Aye, fuck it, why not? $1,000 a week. I've made a bit of dosh, thanks to you people. I've fucking moved on. I've made some cash. I'm on the property ladder. That's what I've done. Bought a house. I bought a house off a neurologist. That builds a inferiority complex. I'm showing up by his gaff in a fucking super dry hoodie. Guys gave me the tour. Showing me his PhD. That's nice, mate. We'll get that done, get that painting, and the dog's playing poker up there. That'll be nice. I grew up in a council house. I grew up in Clydebank. Got all people know that. Famous place. Famous for wet, wet, wet. Marty Pello, he's the only guy who ever left Clydebank to become a heroin addict. But I'm in the West End. I'm in the nice bit of the city. I'm living with the great and the good, and it's where I live. I've been there for a few years, but it's never quite become my bit. I mean, you've got where you stay, and you've got your bit. Hey, that makes sense. There's where you live, and there's your bit. It's not quite my bit. I don't know if it'll ever become my bit. I see I see the kids whose bit it is. I hear them shouting on each other. Sebastian? Sebastian, we're over here, Sebastian. I hear a name like Sebastian. I'm hoping to look up and see a Dalmatian. No, that's me fucking guy. Sebastian making his grand entrance with his purple blazer on, his perm wafting in the wind, a cello on his back. They call me Mr. Bridges, the kids in my street. I don't feel intimidated physically. I feel intellectually intimidated by the gangs of youth in my street. Mr. Bridges, how are we? How are we, Mr. Bridges? Oh. The family and I sat down to one of your performances on the television over the festive period, Mr. Bridges. A tad coarse in places. However, I would be lying if I said I didn't allow myself a chuckle, Mr. Bridges. A wee guy, I'm at my fucking depth trying to talk to him. I'm having to raise my game to talk to a 10-year-old. I can't have a normal older guy to a wee guy conversation. Who's the best fighter in your school then? Sebastian. Well, I'm the chair of the school debating team, Mr. Bridges. There have been a few heated exchanges, but we've not quite come to blows yet. His wee pals beside him, fucking de-seeding a pomegranate with his fruit knife. Yes. I still wear trainers and stuff. I never knew that was frowned upon, wearing sports gear, unless you're off to participate in a sporting activity. I still wear shorts, trainers, any excuse. I've got a neighbour, he always looks at me. He's always looking me up and down. He's always going, off to the gym, Kevin? Off to the gym? I said, mate, why do you always ask me if I'm off to the gym? Well, just when I've seen your trainers there in your sports top. Off to the gym? No, I'm off to the garage to buy a Whisper, mate. It's not... It's not a fucking black tie event, mate. I try and blend in. I'm quite a friendly guy. I've got a dog, for example, right? That's how you get to know your new neighbours, right? You become part of your local dogging community. I get a dog, right? That's your buddy. I get a dog. And you get in the park, dogs there. Other dogs come over, start to play with your dog. You pat the other dog and you get talking to the owner. Quite a sociable experience, right? I'm in the park. My dog's there. Another dog came over, began to play with my dog, began sniffing my dog's arse, sniffing away, having a fucking great time. I'm patting the other dog, and I said, and who's this? That's dog walker talk for what is your dog's name? That's how you strike up a bit of chat. I said, and who's this? And the guy goes, well, this is Diego. And I thought, oh, naming the dog after Diego Maradona, mate. That will explain the sniffing then, right? I thought that was the ideal thing to say. Fucking hilarious. I've got a voice in my head going, superb, Kev. An exemplary piece of patter. This'll be your bit in no time, Kev. I'm asking his dog for the paw of God, thinking this guy is going to spread the word. Oh yeah, I met Kevin Bridges in the park. The guy's funny as fuck, even off duty. The man's a scream. But the guy said no. He said, no, he's not named after Diego Maradona. We named him after Diego Rivera, the post-impressionist 19th century Mexican protest painter. Now, this was a game changer. I had fucking nothing for the guy. Wow, I looked him right in the eye. I cannot believe you've just done that to me, mate. I don't know what to say. I've never felt so homesick. A voice in my head going, this is not your bit, Kev. Go home. You don't belong here. You're a fucking fraud. The sniffing patter, that might cut it down your bit. This is the upper echelons of society. Think you're going to get away with that up here? Even his dog is looking at your dog as if my dad just fucking clamped your dad. See, people are people, I believe. Right, I don't judge anybody for their class,
Right, I don't mean to be a reverse snob. Right, this is a new expression I learned when you mock the upper middle classes. They're just different people from what I'm used to. I was walking my dog, right? This is when I like to eavesdrop. I was walking my dog through my neighbourhood and I heard a school kid, boasting about being the best swimmer in his school. Right? He was boasting to his mates about being the best swimmer, as though that carried some form of playground clout to be regarded as the best swimmer at school. He's going, everyone knows, it's me for a fact. Ask anybody in the school who the best swimmer is. I guarantee they'll say me, I'm the best swimmer. Just a fact. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows it's me, it's just a fact. And I was walking away, contemplating, did I know the best swimmer at my school? And I came to the conclusion, no, because it was irrelevant, right? It was never a means with which to forge yourself a reputation, right? That was done through being good at football, being good at fighting, or being fucking mental, right? Those were the three accepted forms of currency. Football, fighting, or bouncing a Bunsen burner off a supply teacher's Ford Fiesta. That's how you earned respect in a working class school. Never did I witness anybody strip to their Speedos shouting, fucking come on, I'll take you a length then. What? Name your stroke, mate, name your stroke. I'll get my dad down here to butterfly every fucking one of you. And it made me look back on my own upbringing. That's what parenthood does. It makes you realise more than ever how much your childhood shapes the person you become. And I look back at my own school life, right? I was shite at football. I was not particularly mental. I never knew how to fight. I certainly never knew how to fight. Right? I was in a couple of fights at school. I lost them all heavily. But I was at school at a time where a bit of bullying in moderation could be beneficial for your character development. Right, once you've been beat up a couple of times, there's life lessons there. There you go, Kev. You don't know how to fight, so stay out of fights. And I have carried that aversion to confrontation well into my adult life. And I've realised that can leave you vulnerable, because especially when you become a parent, you need to learn to stand up for yourself within reason, right? Especially amongst the upper middle classes, because they can be very confrontational people, because they don't necessarily associate confrontation with violence. Now, I'll give you an example, right? I live in an apartment, right, and I've got one upstairs neighbour, and I used to have a bike, and I kept the bike at the door of my apartment rather than bringing it inside, just out of convenience. And I never knew this was irritating the upstairs dude until one evening he came to my door to ask me to bring my bike inside my apartment because, in his words, it was ruining the aesthetic of the communal hallway. Now, that is a guy who has never been punched in the fucking face. That is a guy who has never been dragged from a moving dodgem and leathered at the Christmas and New Year carnival. He does not come from a world where he sees how that could easily turn ugly, to go to somebody's door to ask them to move their bike from their door. If I was to go to somebody's door with such a request, I would be fully prepared for physical combat. I would assemble a bit of backup beforehand, draft in a few cousins. Aye, it's his door, mate. Aye, his bike. Because he's fucking ruining the aesthetic of the communal hallway. I could have stood up for myself in that situation. I could have said, mate, it's my bike, it's my door. I could have fought prick with prick. But because in my childhood, I apologised to the guy. I said sorry, and I brought the bike inside, and I closed the door. When that man shuffled off back up the stairs, having won, right, and I closed the door, and it's just me and my bike, and the door's shut, that's when it becomes an issue, because the voices in there. The voices in there become like a pop-up virus. Fucking pathetic, Kev. Absolutely embarrassing. That was tough to watch, Kev. Fucking... Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just bring the bike inside. Sorry for your inconvenience. Kev, get a new bike if that's the way you're going to be. Get a wee basket on the front, Kev. That's the kind of bike you should get. Get some ribbons on the handlebars, Kev. Get a wee bell. Ding, ding. Here comes Big Kev. That's it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kev, get a wee Bichon Frise and stick it in the basket when you go for a cycle, Kev. And that is the psychology of men, because those minor defeats, they stay on a file somewhere in there. You believe you've deleted those cookies, but they stay in there. That is why men lose the fucking plot with wireless printers and broadband routers. Because the minute they feel uptight and frustrated, every minor defeat they have ever accepted replays like a montage, a compilation in there. You'll be trying to pair a Bluetooth speaker in front of your whole family on Christmas Day. Device not recognised. You're clicking and clicking. Everybody sees you're starting to get freaked out, and then they start trying to help. Kevin, have you tried moving it further away? Oh, sometimes the Bluetooth, it can actually be too close. I read that somewhere. Kevin, is it updated? Does it need an update, perhaps? Kevin, have you tried turning it off and then back on again? You fucking literally just seen me trying that! Oh my God, Kevin, we don't need music that badly. It's not about the music. It's about that prick in 2019 that made me move my bike to my fucking door. I'm a coward. I'm a coward. I'm trying to look after myself. I've lost a bit of weight as well. I've tried. Thank you. I lost weight before. What was that? Oh, what did you shout? If I get a fucking lazy eye, it was clearly somebody there and it's just moved. You shouted up the Celtic. Right. That's good, but was that... Why did you just shout that randomly? Just in connection to weight loss. What's your name, sir? Killian. Is that the name here in Cork? Killian. Where are you from, Killian? You're from the north. You're from the north. As in the north of Ireland or the north of Cork? I just need to know how much we've zoomed in on the Google map here. The north of this city or this country? The country. All right, fucking relax, mate. Wow, that's an accent, isn't it? The fucking country.